Love it. Well, let me just kind of walk you guys through our agenda for today. So this is actually going to be Conversion.ai 101, and this is going to be not for the long form. So if you're here for the long form assistant training, that is actually going to be at 11 o'clock here. So I'm going to just finish this one up and move right to the next training. So if you're looking for the long form training, how to use that the best, this will not be the training that's going to be best for you. I can pop a link in here to a replay, or if you want to just stick around, I'll be doing another training here in about an hour. D said, how we sign for the long form. So Dave just released some insight on that. We're going to actually open it back up next week, the 13th, which again, I think that, wait, what day is that? That's next Tuesday. So next Tuesday, we're going to open back up the long form. And really the reason why we capped it off was really just to make sure that, like, you know, with a lot of people creating content and all these different words being used and generated, we just want to monitor to make sure like it wasn't going to, like, you know, keep my kids out of college. And so we just wanted to monitor that to make sure that we were in a good spot before we opened up the kind of next batch. Let me get a link here to the long form training real fast so you guys can have that, because I know some of you folks are wanting that and may not have time to come back in there at 11. So give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I should have had that ready. Okay. I'm going to post this link here in the chat. I'm going to put long form training replay. But that will take you to a replay that Dave did last week. And so you'll be able to kind of get some insights there. So if you guys want to check out that, if you need to bounce, that's totally okay. Let me know. That's a great little insight. Again, we're learning, we're testing, you know, and we're constantly finding new ways, and things change a lot. So some things on that even from 3 days ago might be a little bit different. So just be aware of that. But let me go ahead and get rolling here. I want to wait 5 minutes, let folks come in. But this is going to be our agenda for today. So this is not going to be the long form training. Basically the onboarding. If you want that, wait around for another hour. But this is going to be more for just how to get the app, the starter plan, how to use the templates. It's going to give you an app tour. So the agenda will be, if you stay to the end here, I'll get you 5,000 free credits. So it's our way of saying, I know you're investing some time with us here. We want to make sure we give you some extra credits to go create some copy with. And so if you stay to the end, that's going to be the kind of like what you'll get. And at the very end, I'll tell you how to get that. I do want to spend a little bit of time, maybe 10 minutes or so, just giving you the story behind our team and who we are. That way you can kind of put a story to a face, so you chat with us or see us in the Facebook group. And I know a lot of times, at least from our end, we get involved with the software company, and it's all about the product and like what the product does or what it doesn't do, and really forget to connect with the team. And so we've always found when we connect with the team behind the product, it makes it makes it more meaningful. And so I want to give you guys a little insight of who we are, so you know what we're about. I'll give you a quick app tour, and by quick I mean I'm going to show you kind of three things, just because things are changing constantly. A couple beginner tips, and then I'll actually log in. I'll tell you if I was just getting started with Jarvis for the first time, what I would do. Have a few FAQs. And then about the 35 minute mark, I'll tell you how to get those free credits. And then if you need to bounce, totally feel free to bounce. And if you have questions, put it in the chat. And then at the very end, I'll stick around here until about 11 or so and answer all your questions and make sure you guys feel heard there. So if that makes sense, we will get rolling there. And again, if anyone comes in and is looking for that long form training, just maybe if someone that can chat, because I'm actually on the other window, so I can't actually see the chat. So maybe you can just say, hey, scroll up, there's a link up there, or maybe someone would repost that link. That'd be super helpful for me. So appreciate that. All right, so this is Conversion.ai 101, and this is the team. So the team is the same core team that we built another software company that obviously still is running called Proof, useproof.com. And so Dave, JP, and I are the co-founders of that, and also of Conversion.ai. And we've been working together for the past almost 7 years now. And so we built our business in Annapolis, Maryland, and we were all moved out there, a group of friends of us, and we'd all just recently been married, and we wanted to be entrepreneurs, but we really didn't know what we wanted to kind of sink our teeth into, and like what do we want to build a business around. We always knew we wanted to get into SaaS because JP is obviously an engineer, and you know we've hired a lot of engineers, and he has a special talent to be able to do this. And his mom's also an artist, so he has like this ability to see things, how it should function, how it should work. And so we always want to get to SaaS, but we didn't really have like a niche carved out. And so we looked at the landscape of commerce in general and felt like if we could master online advertising, that it would set us up for a pretty productive future. And so we said, okay, we're going to just dive all into Facebook ads and AdWords specifically, and just try to figure out how can we become masters at this as best as we can. because I feel like if we can do that, then we can add value to any business that we were to build in the future, but also add value to other businesses. And so we just went all in on Facebook ads and AdWords and just experimented and learned and tried, and I got pretty good at it. Again, we're not the best, but I'd say that we're really good at it. And so we started doing Facebook ads for local businesses there in Annapolis and around there, and then it kind of branched off, and we started getting more and more clients, and built up an agency. I mean, nothing crazy, probably 30 customers or 40 clients, and we kind of felt like that was kind of the tip of what we wanted to do in terms of building an agency. We didn't really want to like build this huge marketing agency necessarily. We still wanted to kind of stay in that SaaS range, but really that time with the agency when we were working with these different customers, it really gave us a lot of insights on what works from a marketing perspective. We had all these different offers, all these different businesses we're working with, and we were able to see how do you craft ads, how do you craft landing pages to make those convert at a higher clip, and also gave us a good look at, we got to be exposed to a ton of businesses and helped us see, when we start to build a software business, how we want to build our business. So we were really thankful for that time, but really wanted to scale something kind of more than that. Really didn't want to stay in the agency range. And so we started teaching other entrepreneurs how to do what we did. So we started a lot of online courses. One of our first courses was 6K Success. Then we did Entrepreneur Alliance. We had webinar bootcamp. We had all these different high ticket coaching programs. We did that for a year, and we really love that. Like, I feel like that's the heart of Dave, JP, and I has been, we love the idea of community. That's why we love the Facebook group. And we want to be more than just a software product, but we love helping entrepreneurs succeed. And that really does drive us. And so we did a lot of courses. We did that for 2.5 years. And you'll see a lot of folks in the Facebook group. You'll see, they're kind of, they know us because we probably coached half the people in that group and, help them build their business. And so we really value the relationships aspect of it. And so know that whenever you join Conversion.ai, like, we do care about you as a person, not just you as a customer. And so just know that to be true, and we really value that, and we want to take care of people so that in 5 years we can look back and say, you'll see a lot of people they joined Jarvis at that time. And so we do love that. Then we decided we were actually working with a client, and again, we know that conversion rate is our job to be done. Like, that's what makes online advertising work. If you have a great ad but a poor landing page, you lose, and vice versa. If you have a poor ad but a great landing page, you also lose. And so we got really good at doing Facebook ads, and there's always work to be done on the page. I mean, it's like we could just knock that tick up that conversion rate on the page. We could really make a dent in the funnel conversion rate. And so that's where Proof came out. And so Proof is a notification. So we saw this on travel sites. This many people have done this. And so we began to test it on our own site and to see if it could get us more sales, and pretty much doubled our business instantly just with the conversion rate. And so we rolled it out, and it grew really fast. We're really fortunate with that. It got us into an incubator called Y Combinator out in the Bay Area. So we were out there for I guess 4 months. And it was really helpful for us to be around people out in the Bay Area, especially Y Combinator folks, just to kind of be around the people that built Airbnb and Stripe and Reddit and Dropbox, and just to kind of be around people that think bigger than us and think beyond just a little notification on a site. And it's just helpful for us a lot to kind of just level up the way we think about business and what we want to build. And so came back to Austin. So we moved our company to Austin, Texas, and built a personalization platform on top of Proof, which is still running for B2B SaaS companies, where you can change any element on a page using our builder based on the audience that's there. So you can set an audience and say, what do you want this page to show? Because then we always know, if it's a first-time visitor, they're not ready to purchase a trial. So maybe they want an ebook. So you can basically design the whole page based on the visitor that's there. And so it's been a really cool product to sell and run. And so we have a team running that. But that kind of led into Jarvis. And so we've always known there's always work to be done on the page. And so we're always tweaking copy, running A/B tests, and just always trying to figure out how to get better conversion rates on that landing page. And so because of our affiliation with Y Combinator, we got early access to OpenAI and some other AI platforms. And so we began to it's been a long time coming. We started to build, and Jarvis came out of that. And so we just felt like we always want to help marketers make their job easier and help them do their job better. And we've felt the pain of having to create copy, 1,000 different ways for the same offer. And it's just exhausting. And we feel that pain. And so we felt like, oh my gosh, this is so helpful for us. This is going to be helpful for others. And so we officially launched Jarvis. I think I just looked at probably 70 days ago, I guess. And so we're still relatively new. And that's why you'll see in the app, there's a lot of different things we're working through. And so I appreciate y'all's patience in that. But that's the core team. So you'll see Dave doing a lot of our trainings, and probably get all your emails from Dave, and he's our CEO. JP's our CTO. He handles all our engineering, and then I run our operations for all our companies and also handle our customers. So if you ever chat anyone in the app, you're going to chat with me. Austin is our CMO. He's been with us. Funny story, Austin actually joined our team after being a part of our first training program that we sold 5 years ago, and he was in college and he took it. And then he said, hey, I want to work with you guys. And we said, we have no money and really no role for you. He's like, sounds good. So he moved up to Annapolis and hopped in the basement with JP and I and Dave and started building companies, and been with us ever since. And so he's an incredibly talented marketer. He runs our affiliate program as well. And so that's Austin. And then Meg also helps with all our customers. And you'll see her in the Facebook group, or if you chat us in the app, there's a good chance you're going to talk to either Meg or I. So that's the kind of the core team. Obviously, we have other team members that are kind of in and out, but just want to let you guys know that this is the team behind the product. I think overall, I also want you guys to know that we care about this company a lot, and we want Dave, JP, and I, we've been doing this for a while together, and we've always had this desire to build a company that, one, we're really proud of, but also our wives are proud of, that our kids are proud of, that our employees are proud of, and also that you guys are really proud of to be a part of. And so we take that very seriously. That's why we try to take care of people as fast as possible and try to be honest. And we just want to really build something that people want to be a part of with us. And we take that super serious. And so just want to let you guys know that that's how we feel about the business. And we do take it very, very seriously. And that's why, again, the Facebook group is full of people that, if we had wrong people, they probably wouldn't be so excited. But we do take these seriously. We know this is the long game. And so we want to take care of you. So if there's any issues, you can just reach out to us and we'll definitely do what's right. But that is the team. Hope that makes sense. Again, if any other questions or whatever, you can always ask. But that's kind of our kind of how we think. And this is an app tour. I'll give you a quick app tour of this. And so this is what's going to look like when you first log in. So this is home base. Again, things change so fast that I don't even want to that's why we don't have recordings of this, because JP's over there shipping, hourly new features. And so the things I do want to highlight is, so this is home base. This will be your templates, and I'll walk through this here in a second. But up here in the upper right-hand corner will be all your settings. So you go to account settings here. You can change all your information. You can change your password, all that good stuff. This is where you can add team members. Again, with your account, you have 3 team members to your workspace. So you'll be you plus 2 other people. You can send them that link, and they'll join your workspace there. Whoever is the admin on the account will have, whoever is the billing address, they're the ones that are going to have the ability to add team members and see the billing. So if it's just a team member, they don't have access to the billing or also to add team members. But also to know that right now we don't have specific permissions set up from around the content. And so I would definitely recommend not sending this link out to someone you don't want looking at your content, because basically any new team member to your workspace has access to all the content. And so we're working on those permissions, but right now it is not the case, so they can actually view all the content. So just for you guys to know that. This is where you can see all your usage and billing. So we have a 7-day graph of all the different words you've generated on a given day. You can see how many words you've generated since account creation. This is where you can see all your plan credits. So if you're on maybe the $29 a month plan, which is 20,000 words, you'll see this is how many words you've used out of 20,000. These plan credits, so this is on your subscription plan credits, they refresh every single month, regardless if you use 1 or if you use 19,999 words. And so they renew, they go to 0. So we recommend using them up. They do not roll over to the next month. They just keep refreshing, because that's the subscription plan that you have access to each month. You have access to a certain amount of words each month. And then the bonus credits, like today you'll get 5,000. These actually don't expire, and they will stay in your account until you use them. And so maybe one month you have a big project or something, or you kind of just want to have fun with Jarvis for a while, and you go over your plan allotment. Rather than having to upgrade to the next plan, we'll just dip into these bonus credits here. So even if you're on the unlimited plan, so I know if some of you are on the unlimited plan, I still recommend getting bonus credits, because essentially if you were to ever downgrade from the unlimited plan back to maybe a starter plan, then all your bonus credits are still stored in time. And so if you downgrade, all your bonus credits will show back up. And so I still recommend getting credits, even if you're on the unlimited plan, just in the case that you downgrade. This is where you can change subscription, change your payment method. This is where you can add all your billing details for your invoices. Again, if this wasn't a test account, you would see invoices there. So you can download those, and this is where you can cancel. So that's settings. Again, pretty straightforward, but I want to let you guys know that's how that works. Here in the bottom right is where you can actually contact us. And so you can access all our training videos. So we have all the videos we've done in the past, you can find here. You can also find that at Conversion.ai/academy. We have all our marketing trainings there. It's where you can sign up for future trainings as well. Our Facebook community, again, I know some of you folks are already in there. It's a pretty wild and crazy group in there, but it's filled with tons of amazing marketers. Again, we know most of the people in that group. And so if you have marketing ideas or marketing questions, it is full of amazing marketers, way better marketers than we are. And so make sure you utilize that community because it's our way of being able to share our friends with you. This is our support and FAQ. So you can see our help center there. You can send us feedback there. And then this is if you ever just want to chat with us, you can chat with our team. You click on that and it'll go to either me or Meg. So that's how you can chat with us. And then the third thing I want to quickly show you is up here in the upper left-hand corner. I know a lot of you have, maybe you're an agency and you want to separate your work out. So this is basically our projects function. So you can create as many projects as you want, and then all the content that is stored. It's basically a sub workspace within a workspace. So all the content is going to be stored separately in these projects. So maybe it's like brand A is one project, brand B is another project, and it just helps you kind of keep things organized a little bit better. And so you can do that. So if you'll see here, you'll see the content piece here. So this is going to be like content here. But if I go here to maybe a video guide, you'll see it's all totally different. And so if there's ever a time where you log in, you're like, oh, my stuff's gone, where'd it go? There's a good chance you might be defaulted to like a different project. So you might want to go to your projects and check that out. But some folks are even using it where they separate their email marketing as one project, their website copies in another project, their sales letters are another project, their webinars are another project. And so you can separate however you want to. It's kind of our way of giving you some folders for now until we kind of get that ironed out and just a way to separate that out. So that is going to be kind of the projects function. And that's kind of like the main things. Again, you can see how many credits, how to earn credits. You can click there. This goes to all the training videos as well. But that's kind of the main thing. It's not crazy. We're updating daily on how to make this a little bit more clean for you. But this will be home. That's kind of like the main functions. And then this will be home base. So think of each template as a use case. So with Jarvis, we have access to the AI. And so what we're doing is we're constantly training Jarvis and creating some, not limitations, but creating some frameworks or like some limitations to like deliver the outputs that you want. And so we're training Jarvis on how to deliver the best use cases for each of these. And so think of these different templates as a use case. And you can click through here, and I'll explain quickly how this works. And so once you're logged in, and all these templates are the same. So everything here on the left side is what Jarvis actually reads to get the outputs. So if you wanted to get a different output, you definitely want to change whatever is here on the input. That's how you get a new output there. And so you'll use this, and here in a second I'm going to show you some beginner tips of how to use this the best. But everything on the left side is what you input, and then it's going to spit out things on the right side. And this is going to be your outputs. And so you can favorite these. And so then if you go to your content, you can actually go to all your favorites. You can copy this. So you can just copy it right to your clipboard and you can paste it somewhere. This is where we can delete content, and this is where we can flag content. I highly recommend only flagging content that is like maybe grammatically incorrect, or the format's wrong, or maybe there's like a language that's like thrown in the middle of that. Because every time you flag a piece of content, that gives us a direct alert saying, hey, something is wrong with this template, go fix it now. So if it's just like content you just don't like, don't flag it, maybe just delete it around that. And then if you can click into each of these, and this is all editable, you can type, you can save things, you can kind of finish a thought if you want to. If you ever forget what input you use, you can go here and go show inputs, and you can kind of see, and that's for all your different pieces of content. So that's going to be kind of the main thing. Here's how you generate it. By default, there's 2 outputs. If you're trialing, you can never go above 2, but if you're on a plan, you can go as high as you want. So I typically start off with 2 just to make sure my language is right, and then I'll kind of go up from there. But that is going to be kind of the app in a nutshell. I know that's like a quick run through, but hopefully that answers your questions. Yeah, let me quickly say, I have all of these. So I'm gonna explain to you why I think you're getting that direct copy. Yep, I'm about to explain kind of best practice for input. So hang with me here. And again, I'll go through all your questions here after we get done. A few beginner tips here, just for you to know. So I would just want to set really good expectations that Jarvis is really good at getting you about 80 to 90% of the way there. Jarvis is not going to just spit out the perfect content every time. And there's going to have to be some editing. There's going to be some you have to add your language to it. So think of Jarvis as a copywriting assistant, not necessarily like a full senior copywriter. And so Jarvis is really good at generating ideas and brainstorming and getting you close to the end, but it's not going to just be copy paste everything from Jarvis right into your website or to a Facebook ad. So just want to set really proper expectations about what Jarvis is and what Jarvis can do. And the second thing is, if you want to get better outputs, it's all about better inputs. And so be detailed and specific. And then in the product description box, think headlines, value props, objections, and keywords. And also think about the input box as maybe don't even think about it as product description, but think of more of what is the content about. And this is something that we are actually retraining Jarvis on right now. Early on, we just had product description, and the later templates, and maybe the video templates we have, like what's the video about? And we've found over the past several weeks that it's better to think about the input box. So you want that to be very specific about what you want to talk about. And so we found that it's better to think about headlines, value props, and objections to do that. And so let me show you what that looks like here. So here on the left side, this is where you input all your stuff. And so it's important to know that Jarvis reads words for inputs pieces at a time. So Jarvis doesn't scrape a site. So even if I put proof in here, Jarvis has a lot of context for proof, our company, but it isn't going to our site and scraping it and like trying to figure out and like finding quotes from there. So that's why you don't have to worry about plagiarism. Like we've never had an issue where that's been a legit plagiarism case, and neither has our partner, which is OpenAI. And they've done all this, and they do it way more than we do, because it's not the way that Jarvis reads inputs. Jarvis sees pieces of words and then takes a piece of the word and then uses a trillion data points to like piece the next piece of the word to it, and then moving on. And so that's why you can put whatever you want in there, and it's not going to it's not going to scrape it. That being said, Jarvis has a lot of context and has been trained on a lot of the past content. Maybe not so much the newer stuff. Like Jarvis is continually being trained, but has a lot of context for past brands. And so I would never recommend putting in a company brand if it's new. So if it's a relatively new brand or a new product, I highly recommend not putting that inside of here, but rather find a competitor or find someone who has a strong web presence that is similar to you and put that in there, because then Jarvis can actually see that company and can like piece that together and then pull in a lot of their different language, their tone, all the context that Jarvis has for that company. And so like for instance, one thing I did recently, I tested, I wanted to talk about email open rates. And so I put in the product description, email open rates are low. It's hard to get customers to connect via email. Whatever, I can't remember. I basically just want to talk about open rates. So then I put in the company name MailChimp, because I thought, okay, like obviously email marketing, and their output was email marketing rates are low because customers don't want to look at boring and bland emails. Use our drag and drop editor to create beautifully designed emails that will get customers to click and open instantly, whatever. So it was using that one all about like email marketing, but then used definitely MailChimp's language, which is all about design and beauty and drag and drop editor. And so it kind of pulled in that whole piece just from that company name. So Jarvis has a lot of context for MailChimp because it's a big company. So then I did the same product description and I put an intercom in. So intercom does email marketing, but obviously their main feature is chat. And so I did the same product description, but then I used intercom. And the output for that was, it's hard to get customers to open emails because they don't trust the sender or they don't feel connected to the sender. The best way to get people to open emails is to develop a legitimate relationship with them so that they feel comfortable opening your emails. Use our chat feature to do that. So again, it's not perfect, because I just need to delete chat because I'm not talking about chat, but it brought in intercom's tone, which is more connecting in chat in the context of email marketing. And so you can definitely change the outputs by even changing the company name. We do that a lot. And so I'd recommend doing that. And then here in the product description piece, this is where I would recommend, if I'm getting started, which is what I'll talk to now, I would think, what is my main value prop? Like, what's the one thing that I definitely want to communicate to customers that I want to get through? So for proof, it's increase website conversion rate by adding real-time social proof. Like that's the main thing that we always want to be harping on, is that's our value prop. Yep, I just went there real quick. So that's your main value prop. So I'll add that in there. And again, remember, Jarvis reads pieces of words, not like full phrases or sentences. And so that's why, again, Jarvis doesn't scrape. Jarvis doesn't see this whole sentence. Jarvis sees this piece, 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 and builds and is constantly building. So that's why if you were to put this exact product description and this exact company in your account, and we hit generate at the same time, it would not be the same, because it's pulling from all the different data points and like connecting it all. And so it's not going to be the same, which is really cool. And so then that's why also in the product description, it doesn't need to be a fully perfect sentence or a well grammatically correct paragraph, like I said, I recommend headlines, keywords, value props, objections. So this is kind of be our main value prop: increase website conversion rate by adding real-time social proof. Then I can say, okay, what's another value prop? Well, why would they want to do this? To grow their business, like grow your business. And then I put in FOMO, because this is, I think, obviously something that Jarvis probably has a lot of context for. Fear of missing out, people understand that. And so I clicked on that, actually did that right before I did this. And so you'll see here, do you want to increase your website conversion rate? Again, because Jarvis reads word by word, it's going to keep the most important things first. Like I want website conversion rate to be the main thing. So if I was like something about growing your business, well, let me just test it and see. If I'd put grow my business first, let's see what that does. Something like real-time testing here. Jarvis builds off that. So we'll see if this attention is actually going to be more on growing your business and less about website conversion rate. Do you need to increase your, I guess maybe it still is going to be so maybe it's just because there's a lot of context for the website conversion rate, and because again we have a lot of context where proof is all about. Proof is totally the main thing is website conversion rate, so it's probably pulling in from proof as well. So again, I could be wrong about that. Maybe if I just switched this to something else. Let me see if I did like I don't know, maybe a test. This could be. Let's see what this does. Well, now it's going to probably pull in a bunch of things about like MailChimp. So again, who knows actually? We'll see. If this messes up, don't hold me against that. Okay, now, do you want to grow your business? MailChimp is the world's learning. So now it's like taking, so the reason why I was saying website conversion rate is because proof, our brand and like our web person is all about conversion rate. So that's why it was the main thing, the attention. But now I pull in MailChimp. Now it's kind of bypassing that a little bit and pulling in the first keyword, which is grow your business. Now, attention, do you want to grow your business? Now saying MailChimp's the world's leading marketing automation platform. And so it kind of pulls in all their context as well. And so it doesn't make a lot of sense because it's like pulling in MailChimp, email marketing, and then FOMO. But I just want to give you guys an idea of how the keywords work, is that how Jarvis reads it. And so it's pulling in word by word. And so you can change the inputs by changing that, the company name, and then think about what's the main value prop, and then do that. And what you can even do now, so I have that. And now what if I want to keep increased website conversion rate, because that's the main thing I want to do. So now I think, okay, what are my biggest objections I have as a business to our customers? So like for us, I can put no tech setup required. Like that's a huge blocker for us. We're always trying to explain this is copy and paste. Like there's no tech setup required. It's like you can add first objection 1. And this will give me a little different spin on the ADA framework for this. It's still going to keep website conversion rate as the main thing, but it should bring in, handle that objection. You're looking for a way to increase your conversion rate. Proof is the easiest way to add social proof to your website. It's free and easy to set up, no tech skills required. What are you waiting for? Get started today. And then it kind of talks through the whole like FOMO aspect of it. But now how? Proof is a simple way to add social proof to your website. It's easy and doesn't require any technical setup. Just copy and paste the code into the HTML of your site and you're done. We do all the work for you so you can focus on what matters most, growing your business. So now you see it's bringing in that key word or that objection of no tech setup required. And now I can even say, I can even kind of pull this out and maybe I do price, or I can put like, it's too expensive to hire an agency to increase conversions. So we'll see if this pulls in more like price-based language here on the right side as well. So again, I'm just changing the keywords. I'm changing the value prop. I'm changing different objections to that. Now, do you want to increase your website, your conversion rate? So again, it's keeping the main thing. Proof is a tool that helps you add social proof to your website. It's like having an agency working for you 24/7, but without the cost of hiring one. You can use it on your site and see results in minutes. So yeah, now, great. Increase your website conversion with proof. You don't need to hire an agency to increase conversions. With proof, you can add social proof in real time and see what's working for your business. It's a simple way to get more customers without spending a fortune on a marketing agencies or consultants. So now you're seeing I'm pulling in keywords that's actually giving me better outputs. And so again, conversion rate is the main thing, but you can always be adjusting the different pieces after this. So you can add more pieces. one thing you could do, I've done before, is if you find a piece of content, so you're like, okay, rather than thinking about what's product description, think about what is the content about. And so if I wanted to write, I did this recently, I wanted to write about our hiring process of proof. So instead of putting in proof product description, increase website conversion rate, social proof, whatever it might be, I went to HubSpot and I just tried to find an article that had already been written that kind of explained what I wanted to already talk about. And so I searched, and I finally found one that was like the 5 questions you should ask every candidate before in the screening process to weed them out. It's like, that's kind of what I want to talk about. So I copied that headline, I put proof as a company name, and I just pasted that headline as a product description. I hit generate, and it gave me exactly what I wanted. Again, Jarvis has no idea where it's not scraping the website of where that article came from, because Jarvis doesn't scrape. Jarvis is piecing words together, but it just helps knowing that that's a well-crafted headline that now Jarvis can take pieces from and then use a trillion data points to kind of revamp it. So I'd recommend doing that. I do that a lot. Is if I get stuck, just trying to find maybe a past article I've written, or find an article from a company I really like that explains what I talk about, and just paste that in there. And then maybe add a few keywords that maybe you add that headline, and then, like, for instance, I could say there's 5 questions you should ask. Then I might put core values, customer obsession, because those are things that kind of keywords for us. And so I can add that, and it gives me our spin on how we would think about that article. And so that's just a simple way of thinking about it. Again, it's all about these product descriptions. It's keywords, value props, objections. You can just always mixing and matching for that. Tone of voice. We don't have a drop down because it's completely flexible. And so you can see here, you can click on this button right here, click to see more. It'll take you to a huge list I made of about, I think, 150 adjectives you could possibly use. But you can put anything in here. People have been testing a persona. So they might put, if I was to put Mother Teresa in here, it would give me something different. I put Joe Rogan, it would give me a totally different spin on it, because it's actually pulling in from a public figure's persona. People have been putting some famous copywriters in there as a tone of voice. Some people have been testing emojis. If I want to explain conviction, or really want someone to take an action, I'll put serious. You can put whatever you want in that tone of voice. There's no limits to what you can put in there, for sure. And then the last thing I want to quickly share, I think Deed asked us about getting duplicates. And so one of the things I've found over the past month, and we're still kind of testing to make sure, but we have a 600 character limit here. I think if you're on the start plane, it's 400. But essentially, we have to set a randomness level for the AI, and right now it's on the template level and not necessarily the account level. And so if you put in 400 characters and you want to get a new creative twist on something, at our randomness level, which is set at a fairly conservative level, you're not going to get a ton of the same. It's not going to get a totally different look at it. So what I'd recommend is what I found is if you keep it below, a couple hundred characters, and then generate it with a randomness level, it gives you a whole new spin on it. And so if you've got a lot of duplicates, just reach out to me and say, hey, Chris, thanks for letting me know about that. Can you add a couple thousand credits to my account? And we'll add the credits to your account. No worries. We're testing this to initially we thought more was the better, but because of this randomness level we had to set, I think we're realizing it's actually less is probably better to get the whole new spin on it, what you guys want. And so if you get a lot of duplicates or bad content, just reach out to me, add me on, message me on Facebook, chat me and say, hey, Chris said to reach out and to add how many credits to your account. That's no big deal. So just know that the reason why it's getting duplicates is probably because your product description is too long. So I would recommend if you have a paragraph to kind of simplify, maybe take a sentence out of that or summarize that as succinct as you possibly can, because if you do that, you'll probably get more of that. DS words random level. So we actually increase it. So we're the ones. So right now it's on the template level. So the ADA framework has a very specific randomness level that we have set. And with whatever 5,000 all these customers, it's hard to know we can't set it as at a crazy random level, because we have to kind of figure out what's the balance of going to be good enough for everybody. And so we have it at a pretty conservative level. The work around that on your account level is by just making the product description smaller. That's how you would kind of get around that. And we're obviously working down to be able to on your personal account level to increase or decrease the randomness. But right now it's on the template level, and so that's probably why you're getting a lot of duplicates. Hope that makes sense. And then I would just take this, and I can take this right here. And when I get started, I'll typically find myself in this ADA framework, just because I tend to think in that way and how I think about marketing. I'll go there, and then I'll also do the PS framework. So I'll go ahead and just like add that as a favorite here. I just removed it actually. So I'll add that as a favorite, which syncs up to the top here. And I'll just do the same thing. So I'll add in proof, and then maybe I'll do this. I want to bring in the problem agitate solution framework. I use these for Facebook ads all the time, or short social posts for emails. Like basically just giving you content. You can, and again, Jarvis gets you 80% of the way there. You kind of need to kind of fill out the gaps. So here's the problem. We all know that increasing website conversion rate is incredibly important, but also painfully hard. Most marketers settle for the 2-3 conversion rate. Proof allows you to access proof to boost your website. So proof is trusted by 20,000 websites. And so it kind of just pulls in, and I might even just take that to do this. Let's see what this does. If I just like, it's too expensive to increase website conversion rate. Maybe I don't want to bring in our value prop. I just want to like do a keywords. So what's this content about? I want to talk about why it's too expensive to hire an agency to increase website conversion rate. So that's how I think about this input box. It's not a product description necessarily, but more of what is the content about. I want to talk about why it's too expensive to hire an agency. Okay, so it's definitely pulling in a lot of, so like you'll see here, here's like, this is a perfect example. So this is duplicates, right? So it's like, in this case, don't flag it, just like say, okay, Chris, I'm getting some duplicates. That actually helps us because maybe we need to go like increase the randomness just a little bit. And so in this case, don't flag it, just say, hey, Chris, maybe send a screenshot into our chat and say, hey, here's a couple duplicates, and then tell me what template you're in, and I'll go in the back end and increase the randomness a little bit. So that's a perfect example of how you can handle that, because this is not, I don't really want that. It's not really exactly what I want. It's pulling in too much from the proof side. So that's kind of a way to do that. And then I would do the same thing for here. It's like I find myself in the PS framework, the ADA framework, and then I always find myself in the content improver as well. So this is a way to like really, just take a piece of content. And this is definitely what we found is less is better here. So if you're like, I want to rewrite a whole thing, well, that is possible to a certain extent on the long form editor. But what I would recommend is you can't just like paste in a bunch of stuff and just like click a button and it just rewrites the whole thing like that. That's not going to be possible because there is a character limit, and it just kind of like, we just want like the goal we have with Conversion.ai is like, how do you allow the AI to kind of guide the human direction? So like we always want to be, and you'll find this in the long form editor, we always have, it's required to have a piece of human direction. So like, again, we know that generic content doesn't convert. We've been in this game for a while. We know that it has to be your voice, your uniqueness. And so there needs to be human direction. So that's why you won't be able to ever just copy in a whole blog post, hit one button and it changes everything. Like we'll never like probably allow that because it just doesn't make sense from a conversion standpoint, which is what we want to do. So maybe other people might want to do that, but that's not what we believe in. And so for the content improver here, I definitely recommend keeping under 100 characters. Because again, this is the randomness level. Putting 600 characters, it's not going to improve it a whole lot because it's going to be pretty similar. So like for this, I might put, it's too expensive to hire agency to increase website conversion rate. 73 characters, that's a pretty good amount. And we'll see, it typically kind of expands my thought there on like how I can like do that. Just the cost of hiring agencies is a pricey web marketing solution that's just not worth it. It's too expensive to hire an agency, and the money could be better spent elsewhere, like on website optimization. It's time consuming and cost prohibitive to hire a marketing agency. It can be difficult for small business owners with no budgets. So what I do is I start with 2. I'm like, okay, I like that, and I'll just do a couple more. And we'll see if that kind of gives me some more expanded thought. So now you'll see it gives me like a couple of big paragraphs. Now it's like a lot of stuff here. So what I recommend is some folks will join Jarvis and they'll want to change their website copy. So I'd say, okay, grab your 3 bullets or your 3 value props and just paste that right in here. Like, what's the biggest value prop you have? And maybe you do 2 to 4 outputs, and there's a good chance you're going to get a paragraph that you can craft right into an email or anything you want to do that. So just use the different templates to do that, and you should be good to go. I mean, I'm running so late right now. I'm so sorry. Let me run through these FAQs real quick, and then we'll answer questions. FAQ. Sorry about this, y'all. One of these trainings. So I do these one-on-one trainings every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Different times. You can sign up for that at Conversion.ai/academy. Let me just show you what that looks like. If I can type here. Academy. So you can see tomorrow we have a training, our marketing trainings. And so we have marketing trainings every Thursday. Tomorrow's going to be one with Darby about how to write and publish a book on Amazon. You can see on the 21st is going to be about LinkedIn profiles. So you can click there and register. Here's all our past trainings. I highly recommend how to best utilize the magic of Jarvis. This is not actually me. This is one of our customers, and amazing person using the tool, Michael. So I would definitely recommend watching that. It kind of helps you understand how to use Jarvis and how to think about using Jarvis. This is an SEO training that we did with one of our customers, Dan, about how to write content that's going to be great for SEO, how to use a long form assistant. You can find all that. Again, all our trainings are going to be stored here. And at the bottom, you can see, here's kind of my Conversion 101. You can register. So everything you want to know about trainings and recordings and all that is going to be posted here under the Academy right there. How does billing work? I explained that. Plan credits refresh every single month, regardless of usage. Bonus credits do not. They do roll over, and they leave whenever you use them up. You can earn free credits. Yes, up in the upper right-hand corner here, or right here, you can see how to earn credits. One thing that's not on there that we do a lot is for people to add value or answer questions there in the Facebook group. We add a lot of credits to people that just add tons of value in there. Can I use multiple clients in one account? Yes. And so I would use the projects feature for that. Maybe client 1 to be a project, client 2 is a project. Does Jarvis learn from what I put in? So no, not in your workspace. We did have a function where you could actually like add examples to, like, maybe you did an output and you like that and you want more of that, so you could like add it. But the problem was, I think it's because of the randomness level, is like just making the character count too high. And so it wasn't giving like a new spin on it. And so we removed that. But we're constantly training Jarvis. Our team is adding examples, trying to figure out the best way to do that, and using our data to train Jarvis. So Jarvis does not learn from what you put in right now. Everything is from the input on the left side. Does flag content go against my monthly total or bad content? Yes. So anytime you click generate here at the bottom, anything that pops out goes against your word count for the monthly total. We do not have the ability to kind of set a maximum here or minimum. We'll get to that point. But if you get a lot of duplicates or you get a lot of bad stuff, like I said, just email me or message me and say, hey, Chris, add a couple thousand of credits to my account. That's no problem. How do I get support? I showed you bottom right-hand corner. You can join the Facebook group, message me on Facebook. Please do not send technical setup questions, or like if you have a bug, do not put that in the Facebook group. Just message me directly on Facebook or use our support channel. And that's the best way. The reason is because, as you can see, that Facebook group gets crazy, and like all those, like anything urgent gets lost so fast. Like I log in the Facebook group, I'm trying to figure, okay, where do I even start answering questions? And I don't want to like lose, if there's an urgent issue, it's a good chance it gets lost in the Facebook group. So just reach out to us. We're on it. And the last thing, do I need to worry about plagiarism? No, not that we have not seen that case, because like I said, of the way that Jarvis reads the input. It's not scraping, it's not pulling in phrases, it's pieces of words at a time. So it's always kind of forming it together. If you do want to, and we're actually going to build in like a integration to kind of make that extra clear for you, just for the peace of mind. But Copyscape is a great place to run your content through, or Grammarly has a plagiarism checker too. So feel free to do that. We've had some folks do that, but again, we haven't had a serious plagiarism issue yet. Neither has our partner OpenAI. So I don't think it's an issue. Whew. All right. Last thing, how to get your free credits. Again, I'm so sorry I'm over time here. But just message our team in the app. So not in this webinar. Please do not put this in the chat in the webinar. Log into your app, go here to the bottom right-hand corner, click on this button right here, and type in 5,000 credits for Conversion AI 101, and I will get that added to your account almost immediately once I get off this call. Meg Rye will do that. So thank you all for your time. I know some of you guys need to bounce. I'm sorry for taking you guys a little bit over, but just go ahead and message our team inside the app saying 5,000 free credits for Conversion AI 101, or you can email us at jarvis@conversion.ai and say the same thing, and we will get you taken care of. All right. Time to answer questions. Hopefully that was helpful. Again, things change fast, and we're constantly testing. We're always learning, and so that's why we host these things 3 days a week, because there's things I learn every day. Like we're constantly testing, and so I want to get you guys like the latest things that I'm learning and mistakes I'm making. Like for instance, the product description. Like that's a big thing that I'm learning about, and like want to make sure we get you guys the right information. And then one last thing before we end, like I think one way to think about Jarvis, and one specific use case I think is like a really good way to think about Jarvis, is that Jarvis isn't going to be like a copywriter, but it's able to kind of give you as a marketer a different angle to think about things. So one of our clients was running a marketing agency, and one of their clients was a window tinting company. So, put window tint on your cars. And they're trying to go through a rebrand, or trying to figure out how can they get better business, more business. And so they put in Jarvis, and they were kind of thought like window tinting, and the tone that they had originally had was more about like how to make your car look cooler, like how to update your car to look cooler, be more hip, whatever it might be, like window tinting. So it's like all these different window tinting options to like elevate the way your car looks. And their target market was like, 16 to 25-year-olds. That's probably who cares the most about what their car looks like. And so they kind of put that through there and like, okay, that's pretty good. And then they all of a sudden like something hit. I don't know what they put in there. I think they maybe add another keyword. All of a sudden Jarvis spit out something along the lines of safety, like safety for your children. And they're like, wait, what? And so they started playing around with that and started putting in a lot of inputs that was all about window tinting, not for the sake of making your car look cool, but actually protecting the people inside your car. It was all about UV protection. And so they kind of shifted around and they thought, and it was like this huge light bulb moment where now the company like completely shifted their entire marketing and their entire like brand around from like trying to make your car look cool to actually trying to protect your children. And so now their target market was mothers and fathers and grandparents. And the whole like pain point they're trying to hit is like, you spend a lot of time in your car and your kids are in the back seat and UV protection is limited with a standard car, but use our window tint that decreases UV penetration by whatever it is and protect your kids. And like they were like mind blown. And all it was them putting a few keywords into Jarvis and just kind of brainstorming and like playing around and just see what Jarvis spits out, and then taking that and putting it back in the inputs and kind of building out a whole marketing plan that is totally different than what they initially thought. And now their business like shifted, their new target market, their new brand, and like took off and like was like so much more successful by just putting in a new way of thinking about it. And so I think that's the best way to think about Jarvis is to one, just expand your thoughts. Like everyone in here is a great marketer. Like, we all try to do marketing. Like we're not like some newbie, but Jarvis can really elevate and help you kind of get unstuck. And so that's a use case I'd really recommend how to think about Jarvis. Kevin, Mark, and Ann, please open your app inside of the Conversion.ai app. Just chat me and say 5,000 credits. I will not see it in here, so go ahead and just to do that. And let me go through some questions here. I know there's a lot of questions, and I'm probably trying to get through this as fast as I can. I probably missed a lot of them. No limits on the number of projects. Someone asked, are there any limits on the number of projects? No limits. So just kind of separate that content as best as you want. All the words we generate are stored. Is that what you're saying? Yes, Katie. All that is going to be stored there in your content section. So if you go over here, you can see, where am I at it? Here. You can see here's your content. And so here's all your AI outputs. And so you'll see here's all of them, and you can kind of go line by line. We need to make this cleaner, obviously. But that's when if you like them, you can favorite them. So you can see all your favorites here, and you can see all the flagged ones. You can see all your trash. We don't have the ability to delete the trash right now. We're working on that. But this is kind of the way it has it structured. If you want to like move things to a new project, so maybe like for instance maybe you want to mass delete a bunch, you can actually just highlight this. You can move these to a new project there in your workspace, or you can delete them, or whatever you might want to do. So that's like a new thing that can just kind of like clean out your workspace a little bit better. David, that's what's the difference between you guys and Copy AI. I don't know. I'm not sure if they have the long form editor. I'm not quite sure. I'm sure they're probably running a good business there. I'd actually never used their app before, but I'm sure they're probably a good little company trying to do something similar. I think what we've always said, and this is just like, just for you guys know our philosophy on how we like to handle that, competitors or whatever. Like we've been in a hyper competitive market before. Proof is a hyper competitive market. We were the first to market, and within 2 months, there's about 15 competitors are just we're just like taking our code and just taking our code and kind of copy everything we had. And I think what we realized from day one is that if we focus on our competitors, then we're gonna like, it's all gonna be about features. But if we just keep focused on our customers, then we're gonna win. And so again, I don't want to like overhype any other person's like platform or like devalue them, because I don't actually know. And I know that they're trying just as hard as we are to create a great solution for their customer base that they have. And I know that we get a lot of folks from different companies, and I know a lot of people from us go to different companies. And so it's totally normal. And we don't get bogged down in that. We just want to make sure that what we're doing is serving you guys as best as we can, and give credit to other people that are building something similar, that are trying as hard as we are. I know they probably are. So. Okay, let me go back up here. Oh, these chats are crazy. Recent. Yep, yeah, it's the foreign characters, and that's our fault. Like, we need to do a better job of communicating that. We're still testing it a little bit just to make sure. Shalendra, yes. How do you write email sequences? If you go to our help center, in the bottom right corner, you'll just go to like FAQ. Let me just go to it so you can see. So if you go here, and you go to our support and FAQ here, and if you go down to use cases, you'll see emails. So write emails. Click on that, and you'll have a step-by-step guide. And also, here's a video of Dave walking through the process using templates. So you can click on that and watch Dave how to write email sequences. It'd be a much better way of explaining it than I could explain here via text. Yeah, Ahmed, I think Ahmed asked the same question about email flow. So just watch that video from Dave, and then if you have any follow-up questions, let me know. He does a good job of kind of figuring it out, how to best do it. He writes all our emails using Jarvis. So big ideas. Do you think it would be possible to have Jarvis write bargaining big ideas or unique mechanisms? Yeah, we actually had a template out, but it was getting kind of a little bit too random. It wasn't like, we're always on this, like, we're trying to like push the limits to try to figure out how do we get like really good stuff, but also like not like, again, we know you guys value these credits, so we don't want to just like give you bad outputs. You're like, hey, Chris, this thing stinks. And so we had one like value props. So we're gonna continue to build that out. So we have probably about 15 templates in queue that we're just testing right now, and we'll constantly be kind of updating those. And so we have a lot in the way. So that will be probably one we have soon. Kind of how to find like different unique value props or whatever it might be. Will there be access to Jarvis via API? Yep, it's not on the immediate roadmap right now, obviously. But there will be access. Our big thing, as we think about the roadmap, is we know our job to be done for you guys is to create the best outputs. And so we are constantly, all we're focused on is how do we create the best outputs for you. And obviously, like the one thing that we were able to release that most other folks don't have or don't have access to is this long form assistant. So we were trying to really optimize that and make this just an amazing like writing assistant for you right now. And then we'll kind of next step will be more of the integrations piece. And we know it's a big rock, at least with our other software companies, that's been a big rock we've had to tackle. And so we might want to like really get the outputs to a good level for you guys first, and then we'll move to the integrations piece, and then obviously like more of the API stuff. Vicky asked, the Facebook group is great to learn. Is there another way to see how people are using the app? Yeah, we need to. There's so many use cases. I need to organize that better, Vicky. Honestly, like I just need to get better, like extracting all that stuff out and putting it into a centralized spot. What I think I'll probably do is move that into the academy. And so thanks for that reminder. I need to do a better job of that. So sorry, it's a little convoluted there. You want to ask about the unlimited version, so the long form editor. So we're going to open that back up on Tuesday next week. Dave actually posted in the Facebook group. You can go to wait list for that. But yeah, next week we're going to open that back up again. And the reason we closed it down was not because it's like some marketing like ploy to like get people to sign up. It's really just to see like, okay, we're about to get a huge influx of people to using unlimited credits. Like, is this going to like drown us in costs? And so we just want to monitor that and like to be super safe before we open it back up. But it is going to be open back up on the 13th, which is next Tuesday. Shane asked, will there be a discount for headline users to upgrade to Pro? Yeah, there is. I think Dave mentioned that. I think in a post, maybe an email, but just shoot me an email, Shane, about that, or shoot me a message in the app and say, hey, Chris said to reach out about the headline discount, because there is. We're trying to transition everyone over like thoughtfully and like make sure all expectations are met there. So we want to handle that with care. And so Shane, just reach out to us in the chat and say, hey, I'm a headline user. What can we do there? And we'll get you taken care of. It's pretty easy for us to do. Lorraine, thanks, appreciate that. Yeah, Jarvis, we're continually amazed as well. Any other questions? I know I have another training here in like 5 minutes or 3 minutes. Yep, Shane asked about the big marketing ideas. Yep, so we have probably 10 templates in the queue right now that we are still testing and are about to go out. One is a value props one, so that actually work. And then again, 5,000 credits, please, I will not see that here. And please post inside of the chat inside of our app. That was where we'll get it. The other training is going to be long form. I'm just going to walk through kind of how to use the long form editor. we've been trying to do that pretty daily. And next week, we're going to roll out a lot more trainings just because we're going to obviously open back up. Thomas said, can you add a blank document to 29 plan so you can edit the output? Oh, that's good. Yeah. The way we think about the blank document, Thomas, is that it's more of like, so like with the blank document inside the editor, there is no way to like have Jarvis like write on it. Like it's not like the long form assistant. It's more for just like there's a rewrite option. And so I do like the idea. I didn't actually think about that because it could essentially be something. I see what you're saying now. Sorry, I speak to get clarity. So as I explain that to you, I was explaining to myself what I was talking about. So that does make sense, Thomas. I'll talk to JP about that. The long form training is going to be in a different room, I think, actually. I don't know where it's at, actually. I could probably log off and log back in. So it's going to be on that thing. Let me see if it's... Let's see, that's in 2 minutes. It's on that registration link. If you just go to if you go to the, in the Facebook group or something, is where the share link was. You can actually probably see it and you can hop right in. I can't actually figure out how to get that link to it right now, honestly. And so if you just go to the Facebook group and look at long form, search long form or something, for some reason I can't get that to you. I'm sorry about that. Where to find Facebook group? Let me just add this real quick. Actually, I gotta bounce like 1 minute. I'm sure there's people waiting in the other room right now saying, where the heck is Chris at? That's where our Facebook group is. Join that group. Again, I gotta bounce y'all. Thanks, Shailen. There's a recording of that, and I gotta bounce. But hey, appreciate y'all a lot. Let me know if you guys need anything, and we'll talk soon.